me on the entire trip.
And Franken then was a senator, or now a senator, was then a comedian. You know what, talk more about this is attorney Anahita Sedaghatfar. You actually know Leanne. Did you know about this?
I had no idea about this. I know Leanne, we've done some TV shows together in the past, and I am so proud of her for having the courage to speak out and tell her story, because she knew there was going to be this huge media explosion, right? If she came out, she knew people were going to criticize her, question her credibility, her motives, but she did it. And
I don't know. Are we at a state right now where people are questioning people's motives?
I read some horrible tweets related to her coming out and talking about this, basically saying, you know, you're a Playboy model, here are some, you know, salacious photos of you, you're lying. So I think it's hard, you know, people still, I think it's hard for many people to accept that sexual harassment is real. And the fact that she was able to speak out about somebody who is in such high power makes it that much easier for other victims to come and speak out about their abuse. It's a very difficult thing to do.
To me, when I look at this incident, the thing that's most compelling is the picture that we just showed.
That's right.
I mean, you have that kind of visual, you're going to see it again and again, right?
Yeah,
So he's apologized.
Yes.
She's accepted his apology.
Yes.
And he's even called for this ethics investigation. So where do you think this sits now?
Well, she did accept his apology, which I thought was really brave of her. But at the end of the day, an apology doesn't take away the 10 years, 11 years that she's dealt with this. And she's a mother of 2 now, and it's highly emotional for her. I think that he should definitely be held accountable, just as a private citizen would be. We know he is being investigated by the ethics committee. He said he's going to cooperate with them. And to the extent they do find that he committed any wrongdoing or violation, he should pay the price for that. And we know that the Senate can actually expel him for a violation like this.
He said he thought at the time that it was funny, not funny, can see why she felt violated.
That's right.
You talk to women all the time, though, who are not on camera, not on stage, not in the limelight like that. What are they saying?
That's right. You know, I have devoted actually most of my career to representing victims of sexual harassment and sexual assault. And one of the big things is the fear to come forward, the fear to speak out, the fear that you're not going to be believed, the fear that you're going to experience retaliation, that you'll be blackballed in certain industries. So I'm just hoping that because we're finally having this very serious dialogue as a country, that the tide will change, that it will be much easier for victims to come forward and to be believed. You know, thankfully there is evidence in this case. There is a photograph, but in you know, many cases there is no evidence. It's usually a he said, she said case. So I'm hoping that, you know, this will be a tipping point, that there will be change finally.
We're going to talk about Kevin Spacey, too. 20 new allegations at the Old Vic. How compelling is this in making a case against him?
Well, that's huge. So I want to say, first of all, I commend the theater for conducting an investigation, because they didn't have to do that legally. They did that on their own accord. They hired an independent law firm to do this, which is the right way to do it. And what's really, you know, startling is that of the 20 victims that have now come forward saying they were somehow sexually assaulted by him, only one person really spoke up at the time. So that goes again to the theme of victims being very scared. And some of the statements were that, you know, there was a culture of sort of, he was the big man on campus. So how do you go and complain about somebody like Kevin Spacey? And again, that translates into all workplaces. Sexual harassment and assault does not only take place in Hollywood or on Capitol Hill. It takes place, unfortunately, in every single walk of life.
Well, he was the artistic director for that theater for more than 10 years, so he would be like a big boss to a lot of people.
That's right.
The theater now saying they want to make it a safe place for people to speak out. They're taking action. I think we're going to see a lot of that with a lot of types of companies and industries.
I hope so, and that's why I'm saying I hope there's change. So it's not only that a company or an employer has anti-sexual harassment policies, but they need to be able to make the environment, the workplace environment, such that people are not afraid to come forward. Because you can have all these wonderful written policies and, you know, procedures for punishing somebody who engages in this conduct, but you have to make sure you keep the environment safe.
Anahita, that's the last word. We have to get out of this. Another day we'll talk about British law and U.S. law.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back. That's going to do it for us here today.
We'll see you tonight at 10.
Bye.